We're staging for another half hour of nitro-fueled NHRA talk. It's The Straight Line, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts with Marty Huff and 10-time NHRA winner Doug Herbert. Brought to you by Hercules Tires. Now, here's your hosts, Doug and Marty.
This is The Straight Line on Drag Racing. Thanks for being here for our half hour of horsepower. Appreciate you being with us. It's come down to Pomona this weekend. 3 drivers within 3 tiny points. And at the end, the NHRA Pro Motorcycle Championship. We'll talk to Jerry Savoie about his title hopes. The burnout is complete, and we're set to launch another edition of The Straight Line. Wherever you may be, coast to coast, around the world, this is The Straight Line on Drag Racing here at MRN.com. Along with 4-time IHRA Top Fuel champion, 10-time NHRA National Event winner Doug Herbert, I am Marty Huff, and it is come down to this Pomona weekend. And you, fine sir, get the opportunity to be right. Yeah, fine, sir. The first time that's ever been mentioned.
I have never heard that.
To be around Pomona, and not all weekend, but they're early on for something other than drag racing. But you're going to be down there and be around some of the drivers before they head out for championship weekend.
Oh yeah, I'm going to be out there talking to some buddies and seeing what's going on. I'll get the inside scoop. We'll bring that back for next week if I can. I do the youth education service program with the NHRA. It's called Yes. Yeah. And they bring in thousands of kids from all around within 50 miles of the racetrack or so to go to the races and check it out and see all the different career opportunities that are available at the races. It's not just being a driver or a mechanic, but a PR person, some radio, an announcer, food, hospitality. I mean, there's a lot of different career opportunities out there at the races, and so that's what we talk about at the Yes program. I'll be there with probably Tony Schumacher, and Antron Brown usually goes and does that. Yeah. Usually they have an officer or a soldier from the armed forces, from like the U.S. Army, goes out there and talks a little bit about maybe going in the Army and letting the Army pay for some of your schooling, so you can do school and make some money at the same time. So it's a pretty neat deal. And then, of course, I talk about brakes and being responsible in your decisions that you're making as growing up as a teenager.
Right. And brakes classes this weekend at ZMAX Dragway.
Brake classes at ZMAX Dragway, and then we've got them coming up here next weekend in Knoxville. Still have some spots open. That was Pro Stock Alan Johnson helped us put that together over there. We've got John Pacer, Dick Pacer, and he's my buddy, one of our board members, and his son was also killed in a car crash. So the weekend over there in Knoxville is dedicated to him.
And
Mike Pacer.
And that's coming up in 2 weeks. And if you need more information, it's right there on the screen. Put it on thebrakes.org, and you can check out any of the classes coming up.
Austin, Texas coming up. We've got Pomona coming up still. Few classes left. We're winding it down. But some of our early classes next year, we've already got Barrett Jackson at Scottsdale, Arizona set up. Yeah. That's going to be our first one of the year coming up right in early January. So that'll be neat. And then we off running.
Hitting the ground running for 2017. Speaking of 2017, it's coming up for the drag racers as well. A lot of them working ahead to 2017, but we still have one race left, and that's Pomona. That's the finals. And even if you're not in it, man, to put a notch on your gun like Pomona, as you did in your career, there's nothing like getting a win at Pomona.
Well, and that last race of the year is a good one because usually you win the race and then 2 weeks later you got to go back out and race again, and maybe you're not going to win them 2 in a row. I've been lucky enough to win 2 in a row, as a few guys have, but when you win Pomona at the end of the year, you've got 2 months that you're the winner,
you're kind of basking in it. Yeah.
So exactly right. So there's a good thing about winning the finals. And, we've got some really good points races coming up. Pro Stocks down to the 2KB Racing guys with Jason Line and Greg Anderson. And then, of course, Pro Stock Bike, we're going to have Jerry Savoie on here in a little bit we're it's kind of like David and Goliath. So Jerry's taking
really
on the
is.
Harleys of Andrew Hines and Eddie Krawick. So we'll talk to Jerry a little bit and see what he has to say. I'll tell you what, Lowy T in top speed at the last race, won the race. He could have won the race before.
At Dallas.
He was a little bit late. Well, I wasn't a little bit late. He was a lot
bit late, yeah.
But he's had the best bike last couple
No
races.
question.
So, boy, oh boy, I'll tell you what, the Vance and Hines guys are probably they're digging down. If they were sandbagging, I'm sure they won't be sandbagging at Pomona.
No, I don't think that's the case. And now that the Top Fuel Championship has been settled, Antron Brown is the champion. All eyes now fall onto the funny car category, and basically two drivers, actually two that have a legitimate hope, and another one that is on the outside looking in,
Right.
and Tommy Johnson Jr., who's right now at third. Matt Hagan, 86 points back. Ron Capps, the leader. And
There's only 4 rounds available. That's 80 points.
Correct.
So you could oil the track down and get points subtracted. But basically, if Caps goes out there and wins first round, that's over. That's it. That's over. The fat lady's singing. We're done. Ron Capps is the champion. He's been number 2 at least 3 or 4 times.
4
it
times.
seems like. So that'll be a good win for Capps. Capps is a great guy. Been, I've known him since he was a mechanic on Blaine Johnson's alcohol car back in the 80s.
Yeah.
So
wow.
he's been around. He's been around for a long time. Got a chance when Roger Prim put him in his Top Fuel car. John. Montana Express, John Mitchell.
Yeah.
I remember John Mitchell let Capps drive his alcohol car back in, late 80s, early 90s. Which Mitchell had Dixon. I mean, Mitchell had a bunch of guys that ended up being pretty good going over there. And then Capps kept proving his worth, and all of a sudden got a ride in with
Roger Prim.
And then it went from there.
Yep, and then moved on to Snake, and the rest is history.
Yep.
The problem with Capps, for the most part, was that he was going up against Force when Force was just killing everybody.
Right.
And a couple of times he made it close, and then other times he was the best of the rest because Force had gone on and just plowed everybody.
Yeah. Well, for years they were forced with Bernie Federley and Austin Coyle. That team was so good.
Yeah.
They almost couldn't be beat. I mean,
Right.
they were just so good. And even though Capps had a great team, with McCulloch or with Roland Leong, I mean, he's had plenty of really good crew chiefs, including Ron Tobler, who he has now, that knows how to win, obviously, because everybody's out there, and they are tough. They're really tough. The competition is close, and I mean, if you're going to bet, I wouldn't bet on anybody except Capps to win the Funny Car Championship this year. So DSR going to take home, actually either way, DSR is going to take home the Top Fuel and the Funny Car Championship. Don Schumacher's got to be pretty happy about that. He got an early birthday present.
Yeah, no question about that. It's been total dominance, especially during the countdown by the Don Schumacher team, and they are guaranteed, no matter who wins, the Funny Car Championship as well. So it's going to be a complete sweep, and not many times has that happened over the last 10 years. Matter of fact, it's been very rare that has happened at all during the seasons or during the NHRA history over the last 10 years. And I don't think that there's going to be anybody that's going to argue about Ron Capps being the champion, or hey, I'd rather see somebody else.
He was the points leader during the regular season. He's been the points leader now and maintained throughout and extended his lead. So no, nobody's going to be disappointed about. Nobody's going to say anything got stolen from him. That's for sure. Ron Capps and that team, Napa team, they earned it.
Yeah, no question about that. And speaking of championships, probably the closest one and the most intriguing one is in pro motorcycle. A dead heat at the top, and just 3 points back is Jerry Savoie. It's a 3-man battle for the championship, and when we come back, we will talk to Jerry Savoie about his title hopes, and that comes up next.
This is The Straight Line, brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. More coming up right after this.
Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires will get you there, whether you're running on dirt or running a job. Our dependable, high-quality tires are the perfect fit for your needs. For unmatched value, selection, and warranty with industry-leading road hazard protection, there's only one choice: Hercules Tires. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com or call 800-677-9535. Hercules Tires, right on our strength.
Dale Jr. here. I wear Wrangler Advanced Comfort jeans for any occasion. With new styles and great fits, you'll look good and feel comfortable no matter where you are.
Wrangler Advanced Comfort jeans are designed to keep up with you no matter where you go or what you're doing. They're made with 20% stronger denim and 4-way flex technology that moves with you, so you can go anywhere, look great, and be comfortable all day long.
Wrangler Advanced Comfort jeans, the most comfortable jeans you will ever wear. Try on a pair today.
Wrangler, be comfortable.
Victory Junction was young race driver Adam Petty's dream. He worked toward building a camp where children with serious medical conditions could concentrate on fun and not their illness or disease. When he died tragically, his family and friends around NASCAR made sure that dream came true. Today, Victory Junction is a camp that provides fun, life-changing experiences to children dealing with illnesses and disabilities, all at no cost to the camper. Help us serve more children by visiting victoryjunction.org.
You're listening to The Straight Line, brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Now it's back to Marty Huff and Doug Herbert.
Thanks for being here on The Straight Line today. And joining us on the telephone right now is the driver of the White Alligator Racing Suzuki. And right now, number 3 in points and just a couple of points out of the championship race. He is Jerry Savoie. Jerry, thanks for your time. We really appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me on the show.
Hey, Jerry, you got to be pretty excited being where you're being. Man, we talked to you here, a couple years ago, and you guys were working on that EFI and kind of trying to get that down, and your crew was doing a great job, and all of a sudden now, low ET and top speed last couple races. What do you got to do to pull this off, man?
I think the main thing is stay focused. If you look back at the last 2 races from Dallas, you're talking about 16 rounds of qualifying and racing, and I think 15 out of the 16 we were number 1. So,
wow.
Quote me on that, but it's pretty close to that number. But Tim and the crew, man, these guys have a handle on this thing, and I'm just like you was at one time, just a rider doing my thing.
Yeah. And
it's up to me to stay focused and try to be the best that I could be on race day.
Being focused is one thing, but obviously you're this far away from a championship. What are your emotions going into the weekend, Jerry?
Man, I'll be honest with you. Somebody asked me that this morning. I said, look, whatever God throws my way, I'll take it, whether it be win or lose.
Right.
This weekend I went to Mississippi and built a bridge over a creek, and this morning I was up at 3:30 doing a Yello report for raising alligators on a farm and just staying occupied. I think, honestly, I have an advantage over other people that are in this industry because it's not what I do for a living. I do it because I love it. And these guys are doing this for a living, and they have sponsors that they have a look up on, and these guys are looking down on them. And, the pressure's on those guys and not on me. So I feel fortunate enough that I think we have an advantage, really.
I think that's, you got a good point there, Jerry.
Yeah.
Tell me, what would winning the NHRA Mello Yello championship for Pro Stock Bike mean to you? Would it change your life in any way, or you just continue going on being Jerry the alligator farmer?
Man, I'd be the same old person.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, no matter how much money you make or have, you're never better than the man next to you. And my point is this: if I win a world championship and be a world champion, I'm not a world champion. My team is. We are. We win together and we lose together, and we don't blame each other if any of us make mistakes. But, for me, years ago, to win one race would have been an accomplishment. But to win a few races now and running for a championship again and only 3 points away, pretty great, man. I mean, who would ever expect that from old Cajun boy down in Louisiana?
Well, I'll tell you what, you got to be pretty proud of what you're doing right now. Your team, just incredible. I think Marty and I were talking a little bit ago, and it was like David and Goliath, man. And you got them tied down. You just gotta, it's just not much more time, and you can get the job done. It's very impressive. Very impressive,
Yeah,
Jerry.
you know, Tim Kalungian is a great crew chief and a tuner, and he's a numbers guy. I call him the Rain Man because it's always about the numbers and, you know, barometric pressure and air, water vapors and whatnot. And he got a formula that he uses. And usually we hit it pretty close coming out the trailer, except for Redding. We can't run in Redding. I don't know what the hell the deal is, but so it gives you a lot of confidence as a rider that you know you got a good piece of equipment and you got a good tune, and you go out there and try to be your best. And you know, I never take credit. I just think I'm average, just like everyone else, and just been lucky enough to have a good team behind me. So, you know, we'll go out there and do our thing, and it'll all show in qualifying how really good we are and how good we do it. And it'll be up to us to be championship caliber of winning races, you know. So we'll see, man. I don't tell you, man. I'm so calm. It's unbelievable. I don't have a nervous bone in my body.
Wow. Jerry, what would it mean for the class if somebody other than the Harleys wins this championship?
I tell you, man, it'll be a big accomplishment because a lot of people out there, you know, are tired of looking at them guys win races. But you got to give them credit, man. Them boys work hard.
Right.
They work 7 days a week on this stuff, and it shows. I mean, you look at all the qualifying sessions from Gainesville all the way to now, and look at the races and the final rounds and whatnot. And I really feel in my heart that the people that work the hardest are the ones that are on top of the list. You know,
Yeah.
that's just what I see. The hardest working ones are always on top, and the ones that don't work as hard, they go and do other things and whatnot. And I'm not saying other people don't work hard, but like Tim, I guess in the last 3 years, Tim Kalungian probably has taken off a total of maybe 20 days total, and that would be a big number. You know, the boy works hard, and you know, it's. I think it shows on race day and race weekend that the guys that try to improve instead of just staying in the same old rut. You can tell a lot of them have not stepped forward this year. They're still stuck in last year's times. Well, you got to move forward, man. You got to work on it. So, you know, we'll see what happens.
Well, I think you're right. The guys, the harder you work, the better you get. That's what always seems to happen. I always tell Steve Johnson that, 'cause Steve's my buddy, right? Now, Steve, you're not working hard. You're working hard, but you might not be working on the right things.
Man, Steve is my buddy. He raced with us a couple races this year, and I finally got to, I would say, in Cajun language, learn him, you know. And what I've learned about Steve is he's his own worst enemy.
I think I've told him that before.
Yeah, but he's great for the class.
Right.
Yeah.
I wish he could put something together so he'll come out with us next year. And, you know, he's a real sport and a true sportsman. So we'll see what happens for him. But going back to us, man, I'm excited. Don't get me wrong, I really am. But I'm not going to let it get the best of me. We'll see in qualifying how we do.
Speaking of others in the class, the bad news for the rest of the class is that you Louisiana guys are now ganging up and announcing an alliance with the Tonglets, and next year combining your Suzuki efforts. This could be real. This could be real exciting for the class now that the Tonglets and the Savoies are together and sharing information. How much information are you sharing right now, and what does it look like for 2017 with the two of you?
Well, right now we're not really sharing anything. You know, going back to the deal, I never ran pro stock, but I was always a class underneath, and I used to race with Gary way back when, and always been very close friends. And then I knew Gary before those boys were born, and Katie, his daughter.
Right.
So we've been together a long time. But Ellie's a great rider, and we had a couple cards on the table, but we just figured like this was the best choice. He's consistent, and you know, like for me, I'm a sitting duck. You got to take out both Harleys.
Yeah.
We're not getting any help out of anybody right now. Angel's not running good. Matt Smith's hit and miss, and you know these other guys are hit and miss. So we need somebody that's going to put some pressure on these guys and make them red light or mess up on a shift point or something, so you can outrun them. Otherwise, you got to do it all yourself. And next year, that's what we're kind of looking for. The LE can be on the other bike, and we can have two really fast motorcycles that could give these guys a run for their money. And make it easier on both of us to go to the finals.
But you could be hiring your own assassin too, Jerry.
Well, look, it's all good. If we both have the same crew chief and he tunes both of the bikes and they both go down the track, and if he does a better job than myself or I do better than him, then so be it. For me, man, I'm 57 years old. I have accomplished everything I've ever wanted to dream of in this sport. So, what happens, happens. I'm cool, calm, and collective. It's not about being greedy, I can tell you that.
Yeah, right.
Well, Jerry, congratulations on the success you've had. You're going into Pomona in a great position, man. It would be something to see you go in there and pull that out. Best wishes for that. Good luck. Great job so far. Your team is just doing an incredible job.
Well, I appreciate it, and for all the people in Louisiana, I hope we can do it. And like I said, if we do win, we will be world champions, not me. So I just pray to God and hope that good things come our way, and we'll go out there and put some pressure on them boys, see if they can mess up.
One last question before we let you go, Jerry. And we've mentioned this a couple of times when we've had you on, but I think it's really kind of important right now, is that we talk about teams and everybody kind of working together. People may not know that you also work together with the Vance and Hines group. You get most of your equipment from the Vance and Hines group, and of course the Harleys are over there, and that's kind of their playground as well. As a matter of fact, Eddie Craywick, who you're battling for the championship, leads the Suzuki effort at Vance and Hines. How uncomfortable has it been over the last couple of weeks to be working with the Vance and Hines people and knowing that you're right in the middle of this championship battle?
Now, if you look back at the last 3 years when we started this program, those guys are first class. To give you the engines that they give us and to take advantage of it and to be racing against those guys, and it's pretty cool. I hear little stories coming out of the shop that when they put a new Suzuki engine on a dyno and it shows more power, Andrew says, "Man, is this what we got to run again?" So, we feel good. But look, some people complaining out there that, Jerry and the team, they get more power than we do. And this and that. I will take any one of those engines that were built in the last 2 years and put it in my bike, and we'll show them how to do. They just missing it, man. They have the power. They're missing it. They totally missing it. This is what I tell them. Go find a new crew chief.
Yeah,
there you go.
Right.
And find some power. But my hat's off to Eddie and the guys at the shop and Terry Vance and Byron Hines, who built a great organization, a great business. And I don't have any doubts in my mind that they are not giving us the ability to compete for a world championship. So if anybody out there has any doubts, because a fellow racer, a girl, asked me the other day, I said, "Get on a Suzuki. Get away from them Buells and them Victories. Don't run that stuff." "Well, I don't know if they'll give us the power." I said, "I promise you they'll give you the power. If your bike don't run, give me your engine. I'll show you." So, going back to Eddie and them again, first-class people. A lot of people don't like them. But, hey, man, they tough. They work hard. And here we are,
Yep.
That's
going
right.
for a championship.
Well, Jerry, good job, buddy. Congratulations. What do you got to do the rest of the day? You got to go out there and round up some more gators?
No, man, I'm going to meet somebody right now. I'm building a new metal building. I'm going to meet a concrete finisher, see if I can get something done.
All right, awesome. Well, good job this weekend coming up. If I see you out there, I'll swing by and say hey.
Okay, thanks for calling, and it's always great talking to you guys.
Jerry Savoie trying to win himself a pro motorcycle championship in NHRA competition, and that would be the cherry on top of his Sunday, because he's told us that when he won his first one, he said that was going to be it. All I wanted to do was
that was
win.
His goal.
Yeah, that was his goal. He wanted to win a
two
national
wins this
event.
year. Two wins this year for Jerry. 6 wins total. That was his first win last weekend ever in Las Vegas, and vaults him within 3 rounds of the points lead.
Wow.
And you can tell he has a lot of respect, admiration, and trust in Andrew Hines and Eddie Krawiec. Eddie Krawiec, as you said, is the dyno guy, the power guy for his engines, giving them the engines. But they give him an engine and then say, okay, go have fun running it. And obviously, Jerry and his crew chief, Tim, they seem to do the best job running it. So great job.
No question about that. As he said, if the power's there, you just got to find it. And I think they have. It's going to be really interesting to see how the pro motorcycle battle comes down to the end at Pomona. When we return, we'll wrap up another great edition of the show.
This is The Straight Line, brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. We'll have more for you right after this.
Dale Jr. here. I wear Wrangler Advanced Comfort jeans for any occasion. With new styles and great fits, you'll look good and feel comfortable no matter where you are.
Wrangler Advanced Comfort jeans are designed to keep up with you no matter where you go or what you're doing. They're made with 20% stronger denim and 4-way flex technology that moves with you, so you can go anywhere, look great, and be comfortable all day long.
Wrangler Advanced Comfort jeans, the most comfortable jeans you will ever wear. Try on a pair today.
Wrangler, be comfortable.
Looking for a great spot for an affordable beach vacation, a family getaway, or the perfect romantic retreat, but just can't find the time? Let the Plaza Resort and Spa help. A vacation on the world's most famous beach is sure to help you reconnect with the ones you love. You will discover the grand tradition of hospitality and service at this sparkling Daytona Beach hotel, located directly on the beach. A Plaza Resort and Spa weekend escape is the ultimate in relaxation, with world-class massages, facials, body wraps, and more at the Plaza's very own Ocean Waters Spa. She'll love you for giving her such a fantastic weekend getaway. The Plaza Resort and Spa, located at 600 North Atlantic Avenue in Daytona Beach, one of the area's premier hotels and the perfect choice for any type of getaway. Book online at plazaresortandspa.com or call 1-855-DB-PLAZA. That's 1-855-327-5292.
It's The Straight Line, brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Now here's Marty Huff and Doug Herbert.
Great big thanks to Jerry Savoie for joining us on The Straight Line. We were just talking during the break. There is not an unauthentic bone in Jerry Savoie's body. I mean, that guy is as real as it gets.
I don't know if some of our listeners remember we've had him on the show several times, but the one time we had him on with Killer Bees, and so you got Killer Bees from Alabama, and he was talking with Jerry, and it was just a rolling laugh the whole time. And then one of the last times we had him on, he was mad about something. I forget what it was.
He was all jacked up.
Somebody was complaining or whining something, and he was pissed.
Yeah.
So that was funny. But authentic is a great word for Jerry. Super guy, and you know what? He's out there doing it on his own, and
no question about that.
Beating up on the big boys. So
yep. If he were to win the championship again, it's just like Ron Capps. Nobody's going to complain about him being the champion. They're going to be really happy that somebody like him.
Right. Well, as we talked about, he kind of was the championship. The pioneer with that EFI on the Suzukis, and so they stunk the place up a little bit until they figured it out, and now they've got it figured out better than anybody does.
Yep, exactly. Hey, before we leave. Pomona is one of those great places where you get to see a little bit of the past and a little bit of the future, and we're going to see that this weekend with Big Jim Dunn's Funny Car, which is one of the most unique paint schemes that I have ever seen. So basically what you're seeing here is one of the original Moon Eyes front-engine dragsters that's going to be wrapped into a funny car. That is about as cool as it gets, as far as I'm concerned. I mean,
that is
cool.
That's I love the old front engine cars. That's gonna be my next car I'm gonna build. Is gonna be a front engine cackle car that we can just go out and put 100% nitro in. Hit the gas. That's gonna be cool. We're gonna do that.
That is crazy. For everybody involved, thank you so much for being here on the Straight Line. So for Doug, for everybody back in the studio, I'm Marty. We will talk to you again next week here on The Straight Line.
You've been listening to The Straight Line, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Tune in again next Thursday at noon Eastern on MotorRacingNetwork.com and the MRN app. The Straight Line is the show for drag racing fans and is brought to you by Hercules Tires. This program is also available on demand at the MRN.com Media Center, or you can download it through iTunes or Stitcher. The Straight Line is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.